Hi friends, in continuation of the last class, today I want to take out one more problem. With this, I want to conclude this topic. I hope you have been practicing it. The bank accounts, final accounts is basically about remembering the schedules. It's only practice. With practice, you can work out. So, today's class, I'm going to emphasize on two things. One is the CRR. What is CRR here? You have learned this. You recollect yourself. Not capital redemption reserve, my dear friends. It is not capital redemption reserve. It is cash reserve. Okay. It is also called as cash reserve ratio. For smoothly meeting cash payments requirements, banks have to maintain certain minimum ready cash balances at all times. This is called cash reserve ratio. I repeat once again. This we have learned in unit number 1 theory part. Cash reserve under section 18 says that for smoothly meeting cash payment requirements, banks have to maintain certain minimum ready cash balances at all times. This is called as cash reserve ratio. In simple words, it is an instrument RBI uses to control the liquidity in the system. I repeat once again, it is an instrument RBI uses to control the liquidity in the system. Okay, I'm writing here cash reserve ratio. It is an instrument RBI uses to calculate the liquidity in the system. Cash reserve ratio. It is an instrument RBI uses to calculate the liquidity in the system. Okay. Cash reserves can be maintained by way of either a cash reserve with itself or as a balance in a current account with the Reserve Bank of India. Is this clear? We got two options. Either they can maintain that cash reserve with themselves or with current account balance with Reserve Bank of India. The current cash reserve is 4% of net demand and time liabilities. We at present CRR is 4% of, simple words, deposits. Is this clear? At present CRR is 4% of deposits. So the current ratio, actually in the material they have given you, the current cash reserve ratio is 4% of their net demand and time liabilities is nothing but deposits. Okay. Then the actually RBI says that the ratio is permissible between 3 and 15%. In simple words, higher the CRR, lower the amount of money banks can lend out on investment. See, the reserve is the cash reserve ratio is an instrument RBI is to calculate the liquidity in the system. Now, if you are going for more CRR, that is cash reserve ratio, then what happened? The bank's lending power will reduce, or bank's investment power will reduce. This is one point where in the problem they are giving you. I think this is to be calculated. And second point which we will be discussing is about in this class is statutory liquidity ratio. It is also called as SLR. The second point which we will be discussing today is about SLR, statutory liquidity. So we have seen the first point today is cash reserve ratio. This is statutory liquidity ratio. Banking companies have to maintain sufficient liquid assets in the normal course of business called statutory liquid ratio. This safeguards the interest of the depositors and prevents banks from overextending their resources. Liquidity norms have been settled and given statutory recognition. Now, it means to safeguard the interest of deposit. SLR is to safeguard the interest of depositors. Interest of to safeguard the interest of safeguard the interest of depositors. Clear? Now, SLR in the form of statutory liquidation is to be calculated in the form of cash, gold, and unencumbered approved securities. I told you what is unencumbered approved securities. Assets are property that is free and clear of any encumbrances such as creditor claims or liens. This we have discussed already. So the above assets have to be held at the close of the business on any day and shall be valued at a price not exceeding the current market price of the above assets. The percentage of SLR changed by Reserve Bank of India from time to time. In the answer, registration number 1, they have taken as 23%. I think that has not been updated. At present that is on 31st March 2020, it is 19%. Now in your material they have given 20.75% from October 1st 2016, 20.5% from January 2017. But I think statutory liquid ratio is to be calculated on liquid assets. Please remember, statutory liquid ratio is to be calculated on liquid asset. At present, this is for information. It is 20. It is 19%. Sorry. It is on liquid asset. I think cash reserve ratio, it is an instrument RBI uses to calculate liquidity in the system. At present, CRR is 4% of deposits. SLR to safeguard the interest of deposits as at present on 31st March to 19% of liquid assets. So these 2 points today we are discussing in the problem. From the following but information, prepare a balance sheet of ADD International Bank as on 31st March 2011, giving the relevant schedules and also specify at least four important accounting policies has been given. Let me tell you, my dear friends, we don't have these accounting policies in the material. Four important which has been given. It has been given schedule 18. Like I told you, schedule 16 we got, schedule 17 is notes, and schedule 18 is about schedule 18 is about, my dear friends, accounting policies, principal accounting policies that is not there. Even though it is given the material, just you can go through it. Schedule 18 we will discuss, but I think we don't have the list of accounting principles in the study material. Okay, but the four principles, principal accounting policies has been principal accounting policies has been given the problem. Now let us go to the problem. Share capital. I think you know that share capital where it appears. Come on, tell me. Schedule 1. Share capital. You all are aware. Schedule 1 and statutory reserve. Schedule 2. Net profit before appropriation is nothing but current year profit. P&L account. Brought forward, that is previous year profit. It also will be taken. It is also taken to schedule 2. Next, we got fixed deposit. Schedule, come on, tell me. 3. Savings deposit, schedule 3. Current account, schedule 3. But this 28 current account debit balance is nothing but overdraft. See, on some current account there is overdraft, some current account is schedule 3 is about this one. Now this is ODA schedule 9. Debit balance of current account is schedule 9. Next, bills payable is schedule 5. Cash credits schedule 9 is advances. Borrowing from banks liability schedule 4. You can see this is credit balance. Cash in hand schedule 6. Cash with bank schedule, cash with RBI schedule 6. But since we are having in this problem, we are calculating the liquidity ratio. So I think, let me tell you, RBI, we are having some working notes. Okay, we discuss about this working notes. Next, after that, cash with other banks schedule 7. We are also having working notes on this. What is the working notes? We'll discuss. Money at call. Come on, recollect yourself. Money at call is also schedule 7. Gold generally we take as an investment. Government securities investment. Schedule 8. Then premises schedule 10. Furniture schedule 10. Term loan schedule 9. Is this clear? So you can go through it quickly. Share capital 1. Statutory schedule 2. Net profit before appropriation schedule 2. I told you net profit before appropriation means They have already prepared current the total of income minus total of expenditure. You got current year profit excluding statutory reserve. P&L account, fixed deposit account, savings deposit. I think you can go through this. Then bills for collection. Bills for collection will be taken. Bills per section will be taken where after contingent liability, acceptances, endorsement, claims against these two comes under Schedule 12, which are contingent liabilities. After these contingent liabilities, these two, next item is this one. Which one? Bills for collection. Depreciation charges premises, these two will be deducted from the concerned asset. Okay, under Schedule 10. Deduct from Schedule 10. Then next, 50% of term loans are secured by government guarantees, 10% of cash credit is unsecured. Transfer 25% of its profit to reserve fund. Okay. Now this problem, actually we are working out. In the material they are not given actually. They will be giving you calculate, provide cash reserve and statute liquid ratio. Now these two things I'd like to mention you. In some problem they are working out, some problem they are not working out. I think this particular problem, they worked out the statutory liquid ratio and cash reserve ratio. Generally, if that is given in the problem, we can calculate. Is this clear? But here we are calculating this problem. Even it is not mentioned that you have to calculate cash reserve ratio and statutory liquid ratio. Okay, so that we will be learning in this particular problem. But other problems, I think, which is missing, cash reserve, statutory liquid ratio is missing. Okay, but you can write a note if you are doing a fine account that 4% cash reserve is to be provided and 20%, 19% statutory liquid ratio SLR is to be provided on liquid asset. These two things you should remember. But as far as statutory reserve is concerned, the three things you should understand. Statutory reserve. This is about statutory reserve. Okay, right. Then next, we'll do the solution. Today, first I begin the problem with the ratios and also working note. Then the remaining problem becomes easy. Let us see this. First, we are starting with balance in P&L account. This P&L account is brought forward profit. I've already told you. Brought forward profit from previous year. From previous year. Net profit appropriation for profit for the year. This has already been given. Transfer to statutory reserves on current year profit. Last two class I have explained you. We need to calculate 20%. If in the problem is giving 25%, we calculate 25%. But statutory reserve is to be 20%. I have told you. It is coming to 524.50. that transfer from cash with other banks to cash with RBI when CRR is required to be maintained. Assume that when CRR is required to be maintained, if it is given the problem, we have to calculate. So how to calculate that? That amount is to be with RBI. From where we are going to transfer cash with other banks, we are transferring cash with RBI when CRR is required to maintain at 4% of deposit with effect from January 29, 2013. So cash reserve required is on deposits. I think if you look at the deposits, you'll be getting 14. It has been that is the problem. Actually, when we work out the deposits column, you can see that the bank deposits from others, savings bank deposit, fixed deposit. If you calculate, it's coming to 1487.12. So 1487.12, 1487.12, you can see that is what has been got it. 1487.12 into 4% coming to 59.48. Cash with RBI. We have seen that problem. Cash with RBI given in the question. We can see 37 point 37.88. Okay, come back to this. So cash reserve required is on deposits. It is coming to 14.87.12. We have seen deposit with savings bank, current account, fixed deposit. After calculating, you are getting it 59.48. Is this clear? Cash with RBI 37. Now transfer need to be maintained. Cash is 21.60. This 27.60 you are transferring from other banks. So other banks, how much is to be reduced? 21.62 is to be deducted from other banks, and this 21.6 is to be added to RBI. So now in RBI this 59.48 is to maintain with RBI. Is this clear? Right. Now liquid asset. Why this liquid asset is required? To calculate SLR. At present I told 19%, cash on hand, liquid assets. Cash with other banks, it is given in the page number. I think I got the old material. Maybe one or two pages will change. Page number 10.14, maybe here and there. One or two pages back or forward or backward. So cash on hand, cash with bank, money at call and short notice, gold and government securities coming to 691.54. Now 691.54 minus 1487.12 into 23%. So from where you got that amount 14, here you got it. Am I right? 23% you should calculate. 1487.12, that is on deposits. 23% if you calculate. 23% is as per the problem, my dear friends. At present I am telling you it is to be 19%. But we are calculating 23%. It is old material they have given. So excess liquidity is nothing but 691.54 minus 1487.12 23%, 349.5. That means 691.54 is already you are having cash in hand. And what is the liquidity? You should maintain 342.004. That means we got excess, no? excess liquidity. That means we are having more reserve than required. Required is 23% on liquid assets, on deposits. Sorry, on deposits 23%. We are comparing that statutory liquid ratio to safeguard the interest of the people who lend the money. We are comparing that amount with the liquid assets which is available. So liquid assets is 691.54, whereas statutory liquid ratio is coming to 342.04 to safeguard the interest of depositors. Now I think we got excess of 349.50. So the excess liquid enables the transfer as per to above. If you don't have excess liability, excess liquidity, then we cannot transfer to CRR to RBA. So since this 349.5 is excess liquidity, if it is a negative, it may be difficult. You don't have negative. So the excess liquid enables the transfer as per to above means 21.60 is to be transferred from other banks. So therefore, after the transfer, cash with other banks is the cash with other banks you are having 155.87. You can quickly scroll this and you can see cash with other banks is how much? This is what I told you, 155.87. So I think from this we need to transfer SLR, cash reserve ratio. Since we are having excess liquidity, since we are having excess cash liquidity, we can transfer cash with other banks to RBA. So from 155.87, we are getting 21.6 now. This is what has been mentioned. And to RBI, it is to be deducted from cash with other banks and it will be taken to cash with RBI. I'll repeat once again. Statutory liquid ratio is to be calculated on liquid assets. Cash reserve ratio is to be calculated on deposits. After adjusting that, we have seen that excess liquidity. Excess liquidity, how to calculate? Total of liquid assets minus SLR. SLR is 23%. You have to calculate on deposits. So it is then after calculating that we got excess liquidity. Therefore, 4% cash reserve ratio. I repeat once again, since we got excess cash liquidity. How you got excess cash liquidity, my dear friends? That I all told you. Liquid assets minus 23% of statutory liquid ratio. At present, I told you 19%. Okay, if in the examination problem they are asking you to calculate SLR, it is to be 19% on deposits. On deposits. Then that amount is to be deducted from liquid assets. If you are having positive, it is called as excess liquidity. That excess liquidity is to be deducted from cash with other banks and is to be added to cash with RBI. It means the Reserve Bank is having more amount with them to safeguard the interest of the depositors. Is this clear to all of you? This is what has been worked out in the problem. Okay, you can see here transfer from cash with other banks. This I have already explained you. You need to transfer 21.60. Liquid assets now. Let us see. Liquid assets, cash on hand, cash with bank, money at call and shut, gold, government securities. So, excess liquidity is equal to liquid assets minus SLR. SLR is to be calculated on deposits. Deposit. What is deposits here? 1487.12. Okay, is this clear to all of you? Right. So we got excess of 349.5. The excess liquid enables the transfer of as per 2 above means. As per 2 above means what is the 2? Is, come on, tell me. CRR. CRR. So I think banks can transfer. So therefore, what is it we are doing? After transfer, cash with other banks is equal to, this I have told you already, deduct from 21.60 and is to be added to cash with RBI. Okay, cash with RBI will be nothing told you already here. 59.48. 37.88 is existing. 21.60 if you are, you will be getting 59.48 thousands. Okay. This is about your working notes. I think we can easily work out the problem now. Solution. I think in the problem itself he has given 90, 190, 19 lakhs, 1 crore 98 lakhs actually. Since we are avoiding the zeros, thousands, I think 1 comma 98.00. It is paid up capital. No issue. Statute as an opening balance plus addition during the year. The 37.5 we have calculated no. 25% of 150. That is current year profit. You can post it 150 into this is clear 37.5. Then balance in P&L account is working notes number 524.50. Working notes number 1 you have done it already. This one. See, statute reserve we are deducting from profit and loss account balance. This will be taken. But the statutory reserve is added to existing statutory reserve. It will be deducted from current year profit in statement of in P&L account, and it will be added to reserves and surplus under statutory reserve. That is why 37.50 has been added. And balance in P&L account also will appear under reserves and surplus. This is how you got 524.50 after deducting 37.5. Deposits. I told you all demand deposit, saving bank deposit, fixed deposit. Next, borrowings. Other banks, borrowings, India, other banks. Schedule 5, other liabilities and provision, bills payable. Schedule 6, cash and balances with RBI. This already told you. Balance with RBI account, 59.48. How you got working notes number 2, I told you already. Existing balance with RBI is 37.88. To this, you added cash reserve ratio to be maintained, coming to 21.60. You can check 37.88 plus 21.60 is coming to 59.48. Balances with banks and money at call and short notice. In India, balance with banks in current accounts 134.27. In current account means in balance with banks means other banks. How you got that 134.27? I told you. Balance with other bank existing is 155.87. Simple words, this 21.60 is going from here to here, going to RBI. Is this clear? Current account with other banks, it is going to balance with RBI. Money at call and short notice. This we have told you already. Money at call and short notice, whenever you want money, you can get back within a short period of time. Investments in India, government securities, other securities. Advances, cash credits, overdrafts, including debit balance in current account. We have learned that 28 lakhs, I think. Is this clear to all of you? This 28 is current account. I told you OD. It will appear under advances 9. 28 lakhs plus 9. It will go to where? Current accounts. Okay. That is why it has been added under advances. Cash credits overdraft include debit balance in current account as ODs. So how you got that 84.10? I'll tell you. If you want, you can note down this. Here I'm writing it. Existing cash credits is 812.10 less current account debit balance is nothing but OD. Add these two, you are getting 840.10. Term loans is clear to you, 792.88. It has been given. Okay, now the question is very important. Secured by bank government guarantees. Secured by bank and government guarantees. If you look at that secured by government guarantees, what is term loan? 792. Into 50% is, if you want, you can calculate 792.88 into 50%, 396.44. Is this clear? This is about secured by bank guarantees. Then unsecured, you got an adjustment in the question. 10% of cash credit is unsecured. What is cash credit? What is cash credit given? 812.10. Is this clear? 10% of cash credit is including OD, no? Yeah. Unsecured. 840 point is unsecured. And balance is, we are assuming, secured by tangible assets. Is this clear? And we also having like C, priority sector, etc. It's not there. In one problem, we have assumed that it is split into 3 parts. Okay, my dear friends. So this is balancing figure. Where this has been given, you can see at the end of the question. 50% of terms loans are secured by government guarantee. 10% of cash credit is unsecured. Transfer 25% of its profit to reserve fund. Okay. Okay. So cash credits means here it is not only 812.10 overdraft. We are assuming cash credits including OD is being secured by how much? 50%. That is why, 10% unsecured, unsecured. That is why we have calculated here 840.10 into 10% is unsecured. So overdraft cash credits is unsecured to the extent of 10%. Then he has given cash credit. Cash credit means we are also assuming OD also. Cash credit, OD, there is not much difference. Cash credit means the amount will be credited to your account. Whenever you want, you can withdraw. Is this clear? Almost cash credit, overdraft meaning is both are almost same. Next, premises. Premises at cost. Depreciation has been given the problem 1,10,000. So it is premises at cost 1,56,80,000 minus 1,10,000 depreciation. And furniture at cost 70 lakhs 90,000 minus 78,000. It has been given in the problem as an adjustment. I told you already. You can see depreciation is to be provided on premises. Depreciation to provide on furniture. These two is to be deducted from schedule 10. SC means there schedule 10. Is this clear to all of you? Then next, coming back to the next one. Schedule 10 is 9 is completed. 10 is also complete. Schedule 11 other assets we don't have. Schedule 12 I already told you last 2 points. Claim against bank not acknowledged as a debts is a contingent liability. Acceptances endorsement is also contingent liability. Okay. Now bills for collection will be shown after contingent liability. Since we got it, I think we can go for the problem solution. Share capital. The total we got reserves and surplus, deposits, borrowing, other liabilities in bank, cash with balance with RBI, balances with bank, money and call short money, and call and short notice, investment, advances, fixed assets, other assets, contingent liabilities, bills for collection. That's it. Okay, my dear friends. So this particular problem is when they are asking you to provide cash reserve, the question you do it. And that cash reserve you can calculate at 4% on deposits. Then that 4% is to be deducted from other bank balances is to be added to RBI. Current account of other bank. Other bank means its current account. Only bank is one bank cannot open another bank as savings bank. It is only current account. Current account with other bank, from that you should deduct 4% of the cash reserve ratio, which are calculated deposits, and it is to be added to RBI. For doing that, we need to calculate SLR, statute liquid ratio. That statute liquid ratio, calculate liquid assets minus, as it only present 19% of deposits. But in the problem is given 23% of deposits. If you calculate that, you'll be getting whatever the amount you are getting. That if you deduct, you will be getting, if you are getting excess liquidity, then cash reserve ratio can be calculated. So cash reserve ratio calculation is based on excess liquidity. To get excess liquidity, that I have already shown you, to get excess liquidity, we should find out liquid assets minus SLR. That it is 19%, but has been calculated 23%. Please remember, this 23%. This is present rate. 9% is present rate. But whatever the amount you calculated, 342.40 has been calculated 23%. So once if you get excess liquid, enable the transfer as per to above. After the transfer cash with other banks. From other banks you are transferring this 21.60 is cash reserve. Cash reserve. Then this is to be deducted from other banks and is added to RBI balance. This I have told you. It is added to RBI. And added to RBI. That means 21.60 is added to 37.88. You are getting 59.48. You can see that I have already explained you in schedule 6. 37.88 plus 21.60. Cash reserve is added to existing balance 37.88 plus 21.60, and it has been deducted from balances with other banks. Current account bank 155.87 minus 21.60. So it is not affecting the balance sheet total. It is not affecting statement of P&L account. But which will affect statement of profit and loss account is statutory reserve under section 17, which is 20%. But since they are asking in the problem 25%, you are calculating. I told you number of times that you should be looking at that. Then after completion of this, I think not taken the copy of the um, 4 important principles of accounting policies that I told you is there in the schedule 18. Is this clear? It is there in the schedule 18. So I think which is missing here. So basically, when you are looking at it, just for your information, it is there in the study material. You can see after registration number one, principal accounting policies, foreign exchange transactions, investment, advances, and fixed assets. And as far as foreign exchange transactions are concerned, whatever you have learned in Group One, branch account, the same thing holds good. Monetary assets and liabilities have been translated at the exchange rate prevailing at the close of the year. Non-monetary assets have been carried in the books at the historical cost. This we have already discussed, like fixed assets, etc. We have learned in branch accounts. Income and expenditure items in respect of Indian branches have been translated at exchange rates on the date of transaction. In respect of foreign branches, at the exchange rate prevailing at the close of the year. When you are doing the foreign exchange transaction converting into Indian currency, what they are saying, income and expenditure items in respect of Indian branches is to be translated at the exchange rate on the date of transaction. If Indian banks are having transactions, foreign branches. But in respect of foreign branches, at the exchanges rate prevailing at the close of the year. Okay. So, income and expenditure account items in respect of Indian branches have been translated at the exchange rates on the date of transaction. With foreign branches, at the exchange rate prevailing at the close of the year. Okay. And then profit or loss on foreign currency position included pending forward exchange contracts have been accounted for the exchange rate prevailing at the close of the year. We are having profit or loss on foreign currency position that is being calculated on closing rate. Closing rate prevailing. Closing exchange rate prevailing. Closing exchange rate means closing of the year, whatever rate that is being provided. I think this you can easily understand. Investment shown in the banks. Accounting policies. Permanent category investment are valued at cost. Permanent nature. Valuation of investment current category depends on the nature of securities. You are learned in long term investment, short term investment. So long term investment valued at cost. Valuation of investment current investment on the nature of securities. While valuation of government securities held as current investment have been made on yield to maturity basis. Yield to maturity means what is the amount you are expecting that is to be taken. The investment in shares of we have done yield to maturity like 25% is to be 25% is to be taken at cost on remaining amount that is 75% of the remaining investment. You have to compare to the market value. If the market value is less than that, it is to be taken as depreciation. We have done that problem. Okay, then for any other investments, it is to be calculated book value. Okay, so investment yield to maturity 25% is at cost price and remaining 75% is at after deducting the decrease in the value of investment that we have done already in the problem. Advances, simply advances due from sick national units under nursing programs and in respect of various sticky suit file and decreed accounts have been considered good on the basis of available estimate value of existing and prospective primary and collateral securities, including personal worth of borrowers and guarantors. Advances you should show in its various categories. One is available estimate value of existing and prospective. Prospective means in future you are going to expect and collateral security. You know the meaning of collateral, additional security, including personal worth of the borrower and guarantors has to be considered good. The claim likely to be lodged under various state guarantee schemes. Claim likely to be lodged under various state guarantee schemes pending settlement of claim by government. Into four categories you have to show, and depending upon that which is good, you should consider. Okay, and also provision to the satisfaction of all tests have been made and deducted from the advances. Okay, this is one more important point you should remember. Tax relief available when the advance is written off will be accounted for in the year to write off. Okay, tax relief and such kind of provision, you got tax relief that the losses can be written off. Okay, and that is to subject to satisfaction of auditors. Fixed assets, I think I will not tell you about that. Fixed assets premises are any other fixed asset except foreign branch account, historical cost and depreciation to be calculated on written down value. Method at the rate specified in the income tax rules 1964. Depreciation of in respect of assets of foreign branches has been provided as per the local laws. Whatever the foreign branch assets you are having, you have to calculate on the prevailing uh, rules on that basis. You have to calculate depreciation. Okay, I think fixed assets, these 4 points is there in the material. I have not taken that. I think you can easily understand. Is this clear? This is principal accounting policies. And you do one thing, final account, one or two problems are there, practice questions that I think you can work out. Then you can practice some mock examination, mock test papers or RTP just for your purpose. I think in detailed way we have learned, my dear friends. Hope this bank accounts have given you some clarity. So good luck. You need a lot of practice on this. In the next class, we go for non-banking financial companies. Okay. Till then, goodbye. God bless you all. Thank you.